Hello everybody and welcome back to 12 Minutes. So yeah, we're as a recap of what happened last time, since it's been a while, we are stuck in a 12-minute time loop, and we discovered that our wife apparently she had killed her father, and there's this cop played by Willem Dafoe, and our wife is played by Daisy Ridley, and we're played by James McAvoy for reasons that I have yet to understand. I don't know, maybe Luis Antonio has dirt on all three of these people, I don't know. And turns out our wife did not kill her father. Turns out it was her brother, her bastard brother, who was result of an affair the father had with her nanny. Seriously, this feels like a fucking soap opera. And that's basically it. Now we have to, but unfortunately, the time loop is still going, so clearly we haven't figured out everything yet. So let's continue. And for this particular session, everybody, I'm not going to do anything more with we're not going to do any more, Dwebs and Shiroi couch gaming anymore, because I'd rather at this point just get done thing a bit quicker. And with all that talking, I already wasted a good amount of time. So
if I mentioned,
go on, Tara, go on.
I don't know if we actually have mentioned it yet. There were two things. One, I noticed already in the first part, but the carpet outside is intentionally like the same of the one of the Overlook Hotel. So that's cute. Also, our protagonist, James McAvoy's character, kind of looks a bit like keep forgetting his name. The protagonist of Deadly Premonition without his jacket. Agent York, there you go.
Alright. I don't think we're going to... No. Alright, so now I'm going to try my best to figure out things. So let's get the present from the drawer. Remember, her surprise is that she's pregnant and blah blah blah.
All right.
God, I hope it doesn't turn out that Willem Dafoe's character is far.
She wants to name her Dahlia after my mother.
Okay. With that out of the way, let's call Bumblebee, because you might remember how Willem Dafoe will not listen to us unless his daughter tells him to, so we have to do that. Fortunately, since remember, we're still in the same save file as last time, so all the information from last time, we still have it, so we don't need to do everything over again. Don't worry, we're fine.
As a tech, on a tech side, it's interesting to see the type of, things that the game technically remembers, quote unquote, in order to progress this.
Honey, why did you close the door?
Please.
Sometimes a man needs to stay alone for a while.
Exactly.
My wife is innocent, but you're dead.
I don't know what you want.
Hey, well, please, could you just call him and tell him to listen? He doesn't have the whole story.
Okay, fine. I'll call him, but lose my number.
There you go. The Bumblebee thing is now triggered, so let's continue. Alright, so the basic idea now is that we have to try to find some kind of way of discovering who the murderer is. So let's actually ask our wife some more things.
In the next few minutes, a cop is gonna knock on her door.
What are you talking about?
Let's see.
That cop? Yeah, he's after your father's watch.
What are you talking about?
He's gonna sell it to pay for his pocket watch.
Yeah. We already know this, so I'm going to be skipping a lot of the dialogues just for the sake of moving forward.
So skip it.
So let's now we have a new option that we haven't tried last time. Find out more about her brother. So let's see.
The one that killed your father. How can we
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Oh, right, I forgot. I still have to prove to her that I know the thing. Tell her, it has an event, blah, blah, blah.
What?
A man told me you killed your father.
A man told you.
I don't even know how to say this, but
What?
look how your father died. It's not what you think. I know how he really died.
What are you doing? It was a heart attack.
No, it wasn't. It was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I did.
Listen. What are you? He survived. Your brother. He killed him.
I have a fucking brother.
A half-brother from your father's affair. He's the one who did it. That Polaroid from the coffee shop, it proves it wasn't you.
What is going on?
I know. He was close to your father, and when your dad died...
Yeah.
What did you tell me?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. She. Okay. So
She's very accepting.
let's try to find more about the brother being the killer.
Your half-brother? He's the killer. How do we find him?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nobody ever told me anything about him. I don't even know his name.
Okay, what about the nanny?
I was 2 years old. I have no idea. I mean, the cop said he knew my father, right? Right? Maybe he was there back then?
Okay, so maybe we should try to ask Willem Dafoe about it. Let's try that when he gets here. I don't think we have any other things.
I don't remember if we already asked about everything about the watch, but
Tell her
I
the
think
cop.
we did.
Let's tell her the cop wants the watch to save his daughter,
The cop? He's after your father's watch. His daughter has cancer.
just so we can make sure that she gets it.
I can't imagine what that's like.
All right, hold on. I don't think there's anything more we need to do. Where did you get the watch? No, that is not important. Talk about the cop. Let's wait for him to arrive.
No, we wait.
And now we wait.
And now we play the
very
waiting
good.
game.
I'm
So what are we
waiting.
So what are we gonna do for the next 10 minutes? Oh my
I
god.
mean,
We just transition via clock dibs.
it's insane.
What do you...
Yeah, let's take the photo.
Honey?
All these years,
Here, you have to take the picture. I'm not gonna be able to give it to you later.
okay. All these years, I thought.
All right. If I remember correctly, I think this should be enough to trigger more new dialogue since the last time these three people talked to each other last time. So,
All right then.
Love you more.
because fortunately the game has this thing where dialogue choices that we have already picked will be grayed out. I'm sure Theo probably noticed that. So the game makes it relatively easy for you to figure out which other dialogue options you should go for.
By the way, just a quick reminder for the audience, we've been told multiple times to prepare for the ending we're gonna get, so I guess annual reminder.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
tell him the truth.
All right, let's tell him the truth then.
You think you're funny? Calling my family?
What? What are you talking about?
No more games. Hands behind your back. Now.
Wait, stop. I have something you need to see.
What did you say?
I didn't kill my father.
What?
Yeah, she has the photo.
Bastard. That's your killer.
You expect me to believe that?
I don't care what you believe. The bastard destroyed everything I loved. Destroyed my mother. She called him the monster, and he was.
Monster.
What?
Oh, it's just... That was the last thing I heard him say. It never occurred to me that it meant... that.
Listen. I know my father was important to you. I miss him too.
But I always thought you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
But then...
I don't know. But it wasn't me. Look, I know why you're doing this. I get it.
You couldn't possibly.
You can't make us pay for what your daughter's going through. Don't take it out on us.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. God. If my daughter knew what I was doing, she wouldn't understand. She'd never forgive me. I'm going now.
Wait just a second.
Hey, listen.
Oh.
No. Listen.
Yeah, let's ask about the brother, I guess.
Don't say another word. See what happens.
Here. Take the watch. You need it more than
Oh.
I do. She does.
I'll look for your brother. I'll start with the nanny, go from there.
How much do you remember about her?
It's been a long time.
Do you remember her name?
Something flowery. Daphne, Daisy, something like that. I'll dig into it.
Bod.
I'll let you know.
Wow. So what happens now?
So we learned a new piece of information. Her name was apparently something related to a flower, like Daphne or Daisy or something like that.
Of course, it's Princess Daisy.
Oh, the nanny.
Dahlia.
Good job, Shiroi. You know what that means, right?
It's like the clicking. It's like, oh no.
What now?
Don't worry, Whimsy, you'll see.
You'll see it, Webs. You'll see.
While Pedro is setting up for this loop, I might as well say something that we haven't yet, which is not really spoiler as far as I know. The voice actress for Bumblebee, since we only have mentioned the three major ones, but Bumblebee is voiced by Ella June Conroy, which hasn't done really much. I think she has been in 2 minor movies called Run All Night and How to Be Single, and after this she has been in a podcast series called Power Trip, so that's not really much. As for the 911 operator, that's Bonita Hamilton, which again I don't recognize anything. She has not meant much, so interesting. We basically blew her load on the main 3 characters, which I guess makes sense. And for everyone else, they not even pick like, traditional English voice actors.
Okay. This should, if I remember correctly, this should be enough for us to do everything we need to. Now let's just once again call Bumblebee. Yeah, like a certain video that I saw about this game online, despite the game doing a decent job trying to shave off repetition, you still do get a good amount of it kind of becomes a bit annoying having to call Bumblebee every single time.
Mm-hmm. I get it, mostly because it generally tries towards its first 2/3, but towards the end it unfortunately succumbs to that. But I don't blame him too much, because this thing is still relatively novel in terms of actually trying to accomplish this. So at the very least, I would say it's a step in the right direction for the genre, I guess.
Mm-hmm. From what I've heard, there's a game called something Hotel. I forgot the name. That apparently is much better at doing a time loop.
I don't know about that. The only game with a hotel in the name that I know, it's supposedly the one that Swery and Suda51 are making, but that's probably not, about point and click and loops. I mean, it could, but
I know about the pocket.
I don't think it is.
A man told me you killed.
A man told you.
I don't even know this, but look. Look how your father died. I know how you.
What are you doing?
No, it wasn't. It was Christmas, and he hit me.
How could you know that?
I couldn't.
I did what?
Listen.
What are you?
He survived your brother. He killed
I have a fucking brother.
a half-brother from your father's affair. He's the one who did it. That Polaroid from the coffee shop, it proves.
What is going on?
I know. All right, there's more. Listen, a man is going to accuse you of him, but he's actually just here for your father's pocket.
What?
His daughter has cancer, and a watch will pay for. He was supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that done, no, we don't need. Yeah, let's actually do the whole this particular question again, just in case. It shouldn't be necessary, but I'm just making sure.
I mean, maybe he was there back then.
Okay. Where'd you get the watch? Why did you try to? No, this we don't need to ask about this. Let's talk about the cop. Oh, okay. We don't need to talk about the cop because he already said it. Okay. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, let's give her the photo, so she'll have it with her.
Here, you have to take the picture. I'm not going to be able to give it to you later.
Should we also try to get the watch already and give it to her so she doesn't waste time? Go get it.
For reasons that I will not explain to the others too, it's good to have her get the watch herself, so I can have a chance to talk to the cop on my own. Because it's kind of hard to talk to the cop when she's talking to the wife. When he's talking to the wife, sorry.
Okay.
So I'm intentionally doing this to make things easier for myself.
Sure.
Okay, so I think we're all set for the reveal. I don't think we need to do anything else, if I remember correctly. So let's wait for the cop to arrive.
This is better not this.
Spoilers, it will.
We will need a lot more help before we're through.
In a certain way.
From a certain point of view, yeah.
Let me put it this way, Dwebs. It's something that will stick with you, if it helps you. It's something you're not going to forget very quickly, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so while we wait for the game to get around and give us the chance, Shiroi, Dwebs, any guesses on where exactly is this brother that killed the wife's father?
I got it. Willem Dafoe is the brother.
Nah, that wouldn't make any sense with everything we've known up until this point, Dwebs.
The husband is the brother.
Shiroi, please, your guess?
Dwebs kind of jumped to it already, but considering how much you've talked about this before, I mean, not in terms of giving away any details, but because of how blasé this is, yeah, I think it's the husband.
Yeah, the husband is also her half brother.
Yeah.
Does that mean she got stuck in the washing machine?
What does that mean?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
So then why did you bring it up?
The audience will know.
Yeah.
Someone will share your pain.
Allow me to remind you, Shiroi, of the name. She wants to name our child after my mother, as in the protagonist's mother, right? And her name is Dahlia, which, as you might remember, is indeed the name of the flower.
It also runs into the trapping of there's a limited pool of characters, so you kind of have to, run.
Yeah, so it's not like there's much to choose from.
When I said Dahlia earlier, I forgot that was the name she wanted to name the child. I was legit just referencing the bitch herself.
Never occurred to me.
I guess the name Dahlia is cursed in video games, Shiroi.
Flowers in general are just cursed in video games.
There's an entire language about that, so maybe the Dahlia flowers mean something in particular in terms of semantics,
Possibly, yes.
but I don't know.
Why you're doing this. Get it?
You could possibly.
Can't make us pay for what your daughter's going through. Don't take it out on us.
I'm sorry. Really, I am. God. If my daughter knew what I was doing, she wouldn't understand. She'd never forgive me. I'm going now.
Although it's kind of funny to imagine, considering all the actors did this in very different locations. Daisy and James were very far apart in one room, while Dafoe was in Rome, doing everything with these guys at the same time.
Hold on, Dibs.
The name.
Here it comes.
Look at the name. Is that the nanny? Who? The nanny from the old man's affair.
Oh, yes. Dahlia. That's it. Her name was Dahlia.
No.
Why are you saying this? Is this some kind of joke? This is funny to you?
She was my
Mother.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the twist that made most people turn off the game in disgust.
So we were right, were we?
Yes.
And I will say this, at the very least, it's a case where it surprises literally everyone instead of having the brother, actually knowing already and
Alright, hold on, Teo. This makes the game turn back the clock to a couple years before, back when we were about to marry our wife.
Marry our sister.
Our sister, yes.
Jesus Christ.
No wonder they're having a breakdown right now.
And allow me to remind you, Shiroi, she's pregnant.
I gotta know that we're on the same page concerning his feelings. So consider your answer to this question very carefully. What do you want with
So basically, this is supposedly our father, as in our father, but he's also voiced by Willem Dafoe. I get that maybe you couldn't really get a fourth celebrity to voice the protagonist, but couldn't you get at least somebody else at least?
Thank you for mentioning that, because I was very confused for a moment.
Yeah.
Again, they probably blew the budget.
All right, so now we actually have a choice. So, Shiroi, this was the last one making choices, so I want you to make a choice. So what do we tell our father about the girlfriend being our sister? Maybe she doesn't need to know, maybe it's all her fault, or maybe she can accept the truth. What do we pick?
I feel like we should talk about this.
Oh, okay, Shiroi. In that case, let's talk. Which of the three things should I talk about? Maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she doesn't need to know. Sorry. Maybe it's all her fault, or maybe she can accept the truth. What do I pick?
I don't know. I hate it here.
Shall I pick for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's pick. Maybe she can accept the truth.
Yeah, I think it's close to what she wanted. I think.
Maybe I can just tell her the truth.
Oh, you're just gonna tell her all this. How you think that's gonna go?
We're in love. We'd overcome it.
You are so naive, such a child.
It's the right thing to do.
No, this is.
Yeah.
You are so naive.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the father decides that the correct course of action is to beat the shit out of us. So basically, in order to defend ourselves, we have to kill him. There you go.
No.
Oh god, oh man, oh god, oh man.
Oh jeez, oh crap.
And I'm guessing this is something that I don't know. I'm guessing the trouble doing that made him repress the memories.
And now you'll notice that the husband's behavior in this next loop is going to be different when the wife tries to kiss him.
Yeah, I guess he did repress it, because
yeah, he did. The idea
led to him killing his father as well.
The idea.
His sister.
That's the idea, Shira. He repressed all of that, which is why he didn't remember.
Stay away.
Talk to me.
No.
Don't touch me, motherfucker.
And now, guess what?
But
He just
And he
moves immediately.
he just dies immediately somehow.
I wonder if he, like, on the way back to the flat, I wonder if he, like, took something, I don't know. But, this also means, like, in addition to dating his sister, the fact that he knew, and from that scene, assuming that she didn't know, he groomed his sister.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he repressed all of it, but as we saw in that flashback, apparently he was told privately by his father, not the wife's father. God, this is so fucking confusing. Couldn't you get a different actor to play? But the point is, remember, our father told us this girlfriend you're planning to marry, she's your sister, so you can't do that.
Oh, so he didn't actually know in the first place, right? Okay. But it's still gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, and much like... Okay, allow me to take a moment to explain something to everybody out there who's not familiar with Portuguese fiction. Okay, here's some trivia about Portugal, ladies and gentlemen. The thing you have to understand about Portuguese writers is that unlike the US and the UK, where writers are constantly under scrutiny by people on the internet, and anything bad they make, they immediately get clowned on online and stuff like that, right? Like, for example, if an American tried to put this in a mainstream movie, they would get so much flack, right? But the thing you have to understand about Portugal is that Portuguese writers are never under that kind of pressure. Whenever this kind of thing shows up in a Portuguese show or movie or whatever, the most reaction you'll see from audiences is, well, that's stupid or disgusting, whatever. But the people don't actively go out to attack the writer. You know, they just say, well, that's stupid. But people usually think, whatever, it's a piece of fiction. There's no need for me to get so riled up about it. I'm just going to say it's stupid and terrible and move on. So that's where this twist comes from. Luis Antonio wrote this game as if he was writing something for a Portuguese audience. The problem is that this guy clearly does not know anything about how international audiences usually consume media, clearly, because you apparently forgot that this game was going to be played by people outside of Portugal, you know? And which is weird, considering he went out of his way to get mainstream Hollywood A-list actors to star in his game. So,
I mean, okay, I can figure out the. Okay, I think the main reason they all came in for this was because, well, there wasn't much acting work going around during the early days of the pandemic. So, hell, go to a studio for a day or so. You're perfectly medically safe. You're still apart from everyone else, or one of us in another country. Easy paycheck. Why not?
mm-hmm.
Let me check something in the meantime.
One thing, that's basically one thing you have to remember, Shiroi. People over here, they look at media differently. Like, writers don't feel as constrained in comparison, so they get away with a lot of things, putting a lot of these things in media. To give you an idea, Dwibs, there's a Portuguese. Hold on, let's get the watch.
You've actually showed me parts of Portuguese soap operas before, so I am aware of this.
Allow me, because now the Pocket Watch, for whatever reason, what?
It's going backwards?
Yeah, this is something that the game doesn't really convey well to you, but the next step in the playthrough is to go to the Pocket Watch, which for now, for some reason, travels you back in time to a place that's even before the flashback we saw earlier. Now we're going to see an earlier flashback that takes place during the day instead of the night, where once again... once again. Where this time, if I remember correctly, I think this is... No, it's our father still. Our father, once again, trying to convince us to not date our sister, basically. Okay, allow me. Basically, everybody, this is where you can get all the multiple endings, depending on what you do in this specific moment. So... since Shiroi clearly is uncomfortable about choosing stuff about this, I'm going to give the power of choice to Dwibs. Dwibs, what do we tell our father about dating our sister? I want to be with her, or maybe it's better that we aren't together?
Maybe it's better. No, it is better we are together. Thank you very much.
Alright, let's pick that.
What drugs are your writers on, Pedro, when they write this stuff?
See, the thing you have to understand... See, okay. To be fair, Dwibs, okay, and I'm not trying to defend Luis's writing, though. I'm not trying to defend his writing. To be fair, the game portrays the incest in a negative light, so it's not like the game is endorsing incest, necessarily. You know? To be fair, the fact that this happened is painted in a negative light.
It is painted in a negative light, yeah, but like Dwibs as an audience member is having a very appropriate reaction to the reveal kind of thing.
Yeah. Don't worry, Dwibs. I just picked the correct ending according to you. So there you go. If by Dwibs' pick, we've now altered the timeline so that this time we don't marry our sister. And this is the first ending that most people get. However,
because most people are like, no fucking shit.
However,
just gives up.
However, everybody, it's not the canon ending, believe it or not, because there are multiple endings in this game, and I'm going to show you. And since we still have time, how about we look for some of them? Because there's one ending that's the canon. There's a lot of these endings. You can always go back to that moment we just saw and pick a different choice, because basically the point of the whole clock now being a time travel device thingy is for the purpose of the player being able to check all the alternate endings without having to start the game from scratch, which would be very annoying if you're trying to do all endings.
That's neat.
Yeah. There is, however, one ending, Shiroi, that is the canon ending, and that's the ending that resets your progress back to 0, basically.
Okay.
But I'm not. So obviously we're gonna do that as our last one, obviously.
Sorry.
No, I'm done. Go on.
Oh, okay. About what you said about the writers and things about, showing restraint and such because of, what people are used to seeing in their media. There isn't a lot of the problematic stuff. Like, a big example of it is sexual assault in media. It's because a lot of the time it doesn't actually need to be there. because it's not plot relevant.
Exactly.
It's just there
Yeah.
for shock value, and that's why
Just like
people
this.
have a reaction to this kind of thing. This is a very self-contained story, though. It's a small story, and it is, obviously the point of it, like even if it is horrific. But yeah, that just to explain why people react so wildly to that kind of thing is because half the time it's just not actually necessary and is there because the writer's just feeling blasé. Or the director.
And don't get me wrong.
that.
Don't get me wrong. When I say this, I am in no way trying to defend the twist. The twist is
No, of
stupid.
course not.
The twist is stupid, and it's purely done for shock value. It feels like Luis Antonio didn't know how to end the story. Well, and guess what, Shira? Most people agree that a much better ending would have been that instead of having the whole brother thing, just have it so that we discover that it wasn't her, and whoever is the real killer gets left to interpretation, maybe. And we could just have a happy ending where we solve the mystery. That would have been a far better ending. Perhaps it would have been less memorable and more, cliche, if for lack of a better word. But this is just shock value for the sake of shock value. There is, again, basically to give you an idea, Dwibs, there's a soap opera over here that aired a few years ago where it literally starts with the protagonist being raped, to give you an idea of how Portuguese writers don't give fucks and don't get reprimands for doing this. And later on, as a result of said rape, she gets pregnant, but she raises the kid. Later on, it's way later, like near the end of the soap opera, it's revealed that the one who raped her is her father. So now her father is both her father and as well as father of her child and all that shit.
This is one of the ones you actually talked to me about before.
Yes. That's basically to give you an idea, Dwibs, of what it's like to consume Portuguese media.
This is very normal in Portuguese soap operas, apparently.
Yes.
So we think ours are bad, but yeah.
What you have to understand is what you have here in Portugal, Dwibs, is an environment where writers feel can write anything, and the worst they'll get is no, that what you just did there, that was fucking stupid and disgusting. You know that, but that's it. They will not. They'll not get arrested online. They will not. You get where I'm going with this, right? That's the basic twist. Just to give you a basic idea of why where this twist came from and why. Shock value, because Portuguese writers love to use shock value, and terribly at that. So I wanted to give you an idea of where this twist came from, Dwibs. What you're seeing here is basically a Portuguese soap opera in video game form, basically. To give you an idea, Dwibs, I played this entire game for my mom to watch because the game has Portuguese subtitles. So it doesn't have a Portuguese dub, but has Portuguese subtitles. And you know what she did with the twist? She laughed. She was laughing, and then she just went off her merry way. She laughed at how silly and stupid it was. That's the typical Portuguese audience reaction to this kind of thing, Dwibs. People just laugh at how stupid this is, and they just go off their merry way because, well, that's basically it. It's just to give you an idea of the typical Portuguese reaction to these kinds of things. But let's continue. So, Dwibs. Dwibs?
Yeah.
Okay. So we picked your ending where we changed the timeline so that now that thing with the incest never happened. We never married our wife, and as you'll notice, now we're in a different building. This building doesn't have free apartments. It only has one apartment, as you can see. And it doesn't even have the plant. So because of the change to the timeline, Dwibs, now now the protagonist is living alone. He never dated his sister.
He's living in the Shining Hotel, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
And as you can see, Dwibs, we live in a very similar apartment, but there's nothing in it. Obviously symbolizing the new emptiness of his life now, that he has nobody.
It's better than being married to his sister.
That being said,
Yeah,
Dwibs,
I think he'd rather sleep on the floor than be married to his sister.
that being said, Dwibs, believe it or not, this is not the canon ending. So let's look for other endings. Because for whatever reason that has yet to be explained to me, the pocket watch is still in the ventilation grid. Now, I get it. You need to have some way to allow the player to go back to that moment So we can check off the different endings. I get it, but couldn't you come up with some other way of doing that? Because why is the pocket watch still here?
Maybe it means different things, and okay, I will say it should have been in a different location, but people having a pocket watch is not like a weird thing. Just like not have it hidden away where it is, just have it like on a counter or something instead.
There's also the weird thing that the game implies that it's a pocket watch, but it's causing the loop to begin with. Like it has, mystical properties, but it's never really elaborated, if I remember correctly.
I think it's just a story device, like not really. I don't
like
think we're supposed to think about it that much.
I think it's supposed.
Divorce for a second.
It's kind of like the Time Turner from Harry Potter 3.
Divorce is a good thing in this story, Dwibs.
Well, that's what. Well, yeah, that's kind of what we. All right, so now what we have to do is we have to put you might have noticed how the first time we traveled back in time to that moment, the clock ticked back to 2 minutes, or before midnight, before 12, right? So that's what we have to do now. We have to put the hand, the minute hand, the large hand, on the minutes right before 12, so we can get back to that moment and pick a different choice this time. Too bad that the game takes its sweet ass time. The transition, Jesus.
Is it loading?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I think that's what he was doing.
For some reason, that particular transition takes a long time. I don't get it.
Also, now your father is Agent 47.
Look.
All right, so Dwibs, what do we pick? I want to be with her, or there is no future between us. The no future between us will just bring you back to that ending we just saw, where we're all alone in our apartment. So now let's pick I want to be with her. See what happens.
Disappointed, my little girl.
You want to know my answer?
Yes, I do.
I don't care. I love her no matter what.
No matter what. No matter.
All right, Dwibs, what do we pick? Maybe she doesn't need to know, or maybe she can accept the truth.
You don't mean that. You know.
Maybe the first one.
Okay.
All right. You know what?
What?
Maybe she doesn't even need to know. Maybe we can just be happy.
You're suggesting I keep this from her. She's pregnant. You got your sister pregnant. What happens when the baby is born? You just pretend like you didn't do all this, didn't cause all this pain, like we don't know where the problem started?
I don't know. People pretend all the time.
Yeah. Not here. I'm ending this. You just won't listen! Stupid!
Sir? Are you... Sir?
Use your words, dude. Jesus. We don't solve anything with violence. Sir? 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 Sir?
So in this universe, he banged his head and he died.
So by doing that choice, now we're back to the loop. Now we're once again back to the timeline where we do marry her, and so basically we're back to the status quo. So now this gives you the opportunity to try out different things.
Quit the game.
Basically, Shiroi, you talked about divorce just earlier, if I remember correctly, right?
Hmm?
In fact, actually, you talked about divorce earlier, right?
I did.
Oh, sorry, it was
Dwibs. Dwibs did, but then I replied saying it was like divorce is a good thing in this story.
Yeah. Okay, Dwibs.
Yeah, you did mention there was a divorce ending.
We already saw it in the last time, Shiroi, where we just let her leave and the loop just restarts. She just leaves. She rage quits the game. Remember that? Like, basically, we saw that already. But Shiroi, there is actually an interesting ending about that. But I'm not gonna show you that ending just yet, because I'm gonna go for an ending that's probably going to be Dwibs' favorite. Basically, Dwibs, you know what we're gonna do this time? We're going to drug our wife like we did last time. However, this time we're going to denounce her to the cop and just let her kill. Okay, just kill her and don't kill me. Let's do that, because that's actually one of the. Well, Shiroi?
This is a Portuguese soap opera as if it were written by someone British who saw the script, went ick, and decided to just do this at the end.
Just to give a bit of a mentioning, other than what we mentioned, the fact that this was actually nominated for Best Indie at the Game Awards that year. I think Kina Bridge of Spirits won it, thankfully.
Fuck God.
If this won it, I'd throw hands.
Just to give a bit of information,
Shit, I forgot.
IGN 8.8 out of 10. GameSpot 9 out of 10. Game Informer 8 out of 10. And so on. So apparently journalists gobble this shit up.
Because it's bold and
brash.
More like
Belongs in the trash.
And look, I don't want to be too mean to the game, because I actually genuinely like the idea on a gameplay perspective. It's just that it just nosedives right at the end.
It really does.
Oh yeah, like the actual gameplay itself is pretty interesting, and as you said, novel. But then, like, you get to the plot twist, and it was like, okay, but you could have done literally anything else.
Yeah. Also, the only thing that Google tells me about symbology of the dahlia flowers is when it includes beauty, eternal love, inner strength, dignity, and kindness. So
it's the complete opposite of Dahlia Hawthorne. Great.
Well, true. And I guess for the purpose of this game, they want to play around with their opposite. I guess, stuff like eternal love, dignity. Instead, it's something so potentially repulsive about love. I don't know. Maybe, but I wonder if they just picked a flower randomly.
That's why we called her that. It's irony, Shiroi. I don't know what a Japanese name is, but at least the localizers called her that.
Let me check. Usually TV Tropes actually labels the name of the Japanese name of the characters.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
All right. While she's taking,
take this mug. It is totally not roofied.
All right.
Okay, I believe you.
All right. While I'm getting Bumblebee, Shiroi, if you want to rant,
Yes.
This is a good place. Go ahead. Do you want to? You have some rant? You want to rant about this? Maybe.
No, I already said what I needed to. Actually, I don't think there's really much to say about this other than that.
Other than fuck everything.
Okay.
By fuck everything, I don't mean fuck your sister. Why did I say that?
Phrasing.
Freudian
Hey,
lapsus.
phrasing.
Dahlia's Japanese name is Chinani Miyanagi. I don't know actually if it has a particular meaning to it, but let me see. What's the name instead of her sister?
The name of her sister is I'm innocent in all this.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm so innocent. I literally had to change my name to reflect that.
Once again, I have to talk to
Bumblebee.
And say that my wife is innocent because that's the only way she'll talk to the father.
What you want?
He doesn't have the whole story.
Okay. But lose my number.
There you go.
I know. Oh, sorry.
No. Go on.
I know, like, phoning the daughter is, a necessary thing to do in this. But, like, imagine you're sitting there dealing with pretty aggressive cancer, and then you get a call like this.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, fuck off.
I'm dying here. Piss off.
All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the door, leave it open, and I'm going to sit in the couch. And we're going to wait for the cop to arrive.
Now we're playing the waiting game.
Could you imagine if the game actually had you wait for 10 minutes?
Well, technically you can. However, you can speed it up by putting yourself on the... In fact, I think I'll do that. If I remember correctly, staying on the couch doesn't speed up the time. No, it doesn't. I guess I'll do that then.
He's going to sit there and think about his life choices.
He's like, oh god, what have I done? I married my sister. That was a bad start.
All right. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to get the pocket watch. I forgot about that. Good thing I didn't do anything. I need to get the pocket watch because he's going to ask about the pocket watch. So I need to give him I need to have the pocket watch on me, otherwise he'll kick the crap out of me, because Willem Dafoe, for whatever reason in this game, will not listen. Like, he has the temper of a, like, he has basically no
your
temper.
traditional Willem Dafoe character, got it.
There you go. But I'm going.
Aside from John Wick.
But I'm not going to look too far into the pocket watch because I don't want to travel in time just yet.
He's gonna take you back to the past.
All right. The guy's almost done, almost here. So. Basically, Shiroi, there's an achievement for every one of the endings.
Makes sense.
Well, now all I have to do is denounce my wife and lie and say that, oh, yeah, she's the killer. By all means, kill her, but just don't kill me. I'll give you the watch. So this is basically, I forgot what the name of the achievement is, but it's called Coward or something like that, where you just denounce your wife and all that shit and blah blah blah. So just to save yourself and all that kind of stuff, right? So. So while we're waiting, Dwibs, you haven't said much. What do you think of this game?
I mean, okay, I can call it a game, just a really, okay, it is my theory. The guy who wrote this, or the people that wrote this, they knew that the script was shit, and but they decided to take advantage of the fact that there were plenty of actors looking around for work because there was a pandemic going on. So they decided to dress the game up using famous actors.
Hold on, I fucked it up. Jesus Christ. This is This is another problem. Well, this gives me a chance to talk about one of the big problems with this game. Willem Dafoe's character is annoying because you have to do everything super perfectly the way the game expects. Otherwise, the game will trigger him getting angry and just starts, acting like this. And it's so annoying because logistically it makes no sense for him to immediately jump on me like this. Because remember, he didn't do that with a wife. Why does he do it with me? Fucking hell, man. Alright, let's skip this. Okay.
The trophy that you mentioned, Pedro, is called Coward with the subtitle, Not My Problem.
Yeah, basically. Does your daughter know what you're doing? Tell him you killed her father. Tell him your wife is your sister. Oh, I know where the watch is.
Yeah. I know where it is. I have it here with me. Just take it and leave us alone. There we are.
Well, I guess I get to show this bit at least.
Be this way.
And now he kills me. I did what you wanted, you asshole. Seriously.
Guess he doesn't want to be reported, but yeah, that was just unnecessary.
Alright. How about this? I'm actually going to do another ending, actually. There's actually another ending you can do, guys. Guess what? I'm going to put down my controller and not do anything.
Oh, the Wario 2 way.
Yes.
Mario Party, Luigi.
Wario Land 2, actually.
Remember, one of the alternate routes in Wario Land 2 is unlocked by just not doing anything in the first level. But, yeah. Basically, one of the endings you get, by all means, to check what's the name is, where you just don't do anything. The problem is that the description of the trophies doesn't really describe what it is, so you'll have to look up an actual trophy guide rather than just the names of the achievements. Because
let me see, I'm doing it. PSN Profiles usually is good with this.
Undertale Yellow does actually have an ending you can get very early on if you do nothing for 3 minutes.
Hey, there he is. Want to sit for a second?
all right, sorry, Dwebs. Go on. You were saying?
How was your day?
Yeah, like I said, I honestly think this game script is so shit. they decided to, take advantage of the fact that there was a pandemic on and hire these famous actors to dress everything up. To try and hide that this is a rubbish story.
You even listening?
Sorry, I was somewhere.
There you go. Listen. Subtitle, let it be.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get also the steps for the coward one while you're at it?
Go ahead, Teo, please.
Let me see.
While you're at it, might as well. Because, see, again, it's like I said before, while Teo searches that, again, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. The problem is that the game is super, super specific about what every single little step, and any minor mistake can just destroy your entire loop, and it's annoying. Go on, Teo.
Alright, you have to pick each mug, fill one with water at the sink, turn on the light in the bedroom, go to the bathroom and close the door, collect sleeping pills and add them to the mug, so roof it. Open the ventilation shaft and grab the
watch.
pocket watch. Go to give your wife the mug with pills. Then call Bumblebee.
Well, I'm gonna go to the bedroom.
No, actually, go into the closet and take the phone. Then hide in the closet until the cop arrives and you hear him getting shot in the bedroom. Leave the closet and take the handcuffs from the inventory and use them on him.
Oh, okay.
And when he makes him up, then start saying stuff.
Yeah. That one in particular, Teo, I can get. That's one where you just say, okay, just go ahead and kill my wife, and yeah. But there is another one where you can actually wait here and actually meet him right here in this room, in this living room.
Let me see.
The problem is that again, I'm trying to invest. I'll tell you that is indeed another one too. Very good, but this is the other one that I'm looking for because that one is not particularly interesting to me, so I'm just not going to show that one.
Okay, there is even apparently a trophy if you manage to water the flower in the bedroom until 3 flowers are fully. What is this near cryptic bullshit?
Yeah. Go ahead, since we're still waiting.
Yeah. I'm checking.
Sure. Riveting gameplay, isn't it, guys?
Yep. I've got some crisps.
Unconscious.
Celebrating got shit on this.
Yeah.
And I have a can of Monster.
Yeah. That's going to be what we're going to do for the next 10 minutes. I'll just read the ingredients on this pack of bacon rashers that I've got.
I never managed to enjoy an energy drink. I tried both Red Bull and actually Monster, the gray variant, the one used for the boomer memes, but no, they're really not my thing.
Red Bull's growing on me.
Let's see.
Monster is pretty much the only energy drink I actually drink.
Oh, did you know, guys, this pack of Sainsbury's Bacon Crispies that I've got
Yes?
contains something called rice flour.
Interesting.
Stop being British.
I have a packet of Reese's. That helps.
Hold on. What, yes, Teo?
I'll get it.
First of all, no, I was just checking because, let's see, killing Monster, killing my father.
With the police. Turn around.
I love this bit here. Now, instead of helping the wife, let's just stay here.
Just a normal Tuesday.
Just a normal, yeah. Sir?
Sir?
Help me. Please come help me.
You know what's the sad part, Shiroi? You know the whole babe thing? You can still trigger that dialogue even after the twist is revealed. That's the weird part.
Gameplay and story segregation,
To the game's credit, you know how whenever you click on the wife, it says wife? Now it just says woman or something like
Her
that.
name?
No, it says her. That's it. It says her.
It's her.
Now it's not
Do you
wife.
know
She's not wife.
Pedro?
Go on, too.
You know, Pedro, if the ending that you mentioned is actually connected to a trophy or just one that you can obtain like that.
All right. Maybe it isn't. I guess I'll. See, what probably happened to her is that I didn't speak to him quick enough. That's probably what happened earlier. That's the sad part.
I'm not lying. Please don't hurt us. Honey, tell him.
He can't help you. Just you and me. Tell me where the watch is, and we all go our separate ways.
How about this? Let's just Well, it's still it's still a 9:45, so I guess we can try again. Why not?
No, please.
Well, okay. In that case, Terry, you've already kind of said some bit, but you want to elaborate more on your overall thoughts on the game in general?
Like I said, it's not too different from, say, a point-and-click game when you really
Well,
get
it
down
is.
to it.
It is a point-and-click game, literally.
True. It's just the perspective. It's this top-down rather than to be, 2D, usually 2D, isometric or similar. It's actually relatively unique for a point-and-click presentation. The problem to me is just, the kind of twist. Because honestly, again, the premise in itself is relatively interesting. It has a supernatural component that makes it appealing, And in true point-and-click tradition, you can even be the biggest asshole you can get, So there is technically also that. Like I said, the entire game being bogged down, because of a twist, maybe it's a bit too much. Obviously, the game would have benefited much more without it, but otherwise, it would be strong enough to be played if it was, something that you could pay for like $15. You already told me what was the price in the previous part, so I know already a general idea of what it is. It's just, I think maybe a bit less for this type of product would have been fine.
Yeah, at release, guys, the game cost $24.99.
Which, again, like I said, it's still more reasonable than stuff like, say, The Witness, which is a great puzzle game, a bit on the pretentious side, but still great as a kind of gameplay point. But it was priced at least $40, if not a bit more. And the creator, we went on a tirade on why it needed to be like that, and it was just God. Mm-hmm. Incidentally, it's the same guy that filmed himself crying in a corner because Soulja Boy actually laughed at his previous game, Braid.
Basically.
But back to this game. My point generally is the twist sucks, but that should not discourage to do more of these type of games, even from the same author. Just again, avoid having this weird, bizarre Last of Us 2-esque shock value which serves really no purpose rather than for people to just talk about it, because that really is. It doesn't really have any kind of substance outside of oh, look at how ambitious I am with my storytelling.
Yeah, because this twist doesn't contextualize anything. It's not saying anything. It's like Luke Stevens said in his video that he made about this game. It would be one thing if the game at the very least had some kind of point to make with this, some kind of message, some kind of something that would... Whoa.
Just gonna lie down for a sec. We'll talk later.
Basically, I was just... you guys are about to see, but I was about to try to get...
We saw.
Yeah,
it's just jump scare, boom.
If it wasn't for the pills, she would have caught me stealing the watch.
Because she's programmed, the character is programmed to let you say, I'm gonna go sleep, no matter where you are. So that's why she blindsided you in the bathroom. Also, fun fact, I'm checking here, one of the hardest technically trophies that you can get is one about the perfect day, which I think is achievable after you've done pretty much everything.
Yeah, basically what happens is you have to phone Bumblebee, because if you phone basically if I remember correctly, you told Bumblebee to say that your father's coming here to kill us and shit. Please say something, and she decides, oh, you can't do that, like, because you have to say, look, I know that your father's trying to get the watch so he can pay for your cancer treatment, and that's what makes her get angry at him, and as a result the cop goes back home, right? And never actually comes into your apartment, which means the dinner that we had on the previous loop can continue. Problem is, when the 12 minutes are up, the loop starts again. So it's not a particularly interesting ending, in my opinion, to be honest with you.
As for the one that you're trying to achieve, Pedro, even if I haven't found yet, one of my guesses is maybe you should, aside from calling Bumblebee and everything, when the Fox characters arrives, should you present in the Polaroid?
That is a good point too, actually. Yeah.
Why would did you say that?
Well, actually, no, never mind. In this specific, what I'm trying to do, too, is get him to go into the room, into the bedroom, and kill her. Because there's actually you can actually have him do that. I know, because I've done it before.
Then I think you're supposed to just hide in the closet.
No. That would be for the coward ending that you've talked about before. Okay, let me just try it again. Hopefully, because I think maybe what happened is that I didn't talk to him quickly enough. If I fail again, I'll just give up. Don't worry.
Okay.
I just want to try one more time. Question, Shiro, does Alice know about this game?
She didn't until not too long ago, where she just woke up behind me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you missed all this bullshit," and then I quickly explained.
Oh, you mean just now?
Yeah, she's gone back to sleep.
Knowledge truly is an eldritch thing.
So, what is this?
Knowledge is power, and I don't want to be God anymore.
So, is this going to be a Life is Strange 1 ending situation where you're going to be ranting to her about this ending for a while, or?
Oh, I don't think I ranted about that one all that much. I did it. I did to an extent. No, it's my occasional cursing about weathering with you that is.
Oh yeah, that's the weathering with you. That one. Okay. It's just going to be a weathering with you ending situation. That's it, right?
I don't know. I'll probably just repress this one, like this guy repressed sleeping with his sister.
I'm actually surprised that out of all of the interactable objects, you actually are not able to listen to the radio.
Yeah, that is true.
It's just weird. Usually in point-and-click games, it's put there just to give you, because it's either plot relevant or because it gives you like a cheeky gag or something.
All right, let's try it one more time. If I fail again, I'll just give up. I'll just describe it very basically, to give you a basic idea. You can look up the endings on YouTube anyway, so if you're really that curious, you can look it up.
Honey, I think you got prank called.
Besides, we still need to show Jova to this at some point, so maybe by that time you will know what to do.
Hopefully.
Listen to what? Oh, okay, I'll listen to him, but honey... Yeah, don't worry, Bumblebee. I'll take care of this. I love you more.
Okay, bye.
Let's talk. Get on the ground.
Oh, fuck off. Okay, fuck it. I'll just go back to the study room because this is bullshit. No, it's just a thing, Tail. Trust me, I know that I'm doing things properly. It's just that there's probably one minor little inconsequential detail that I'm forgetting. Just
It's like you're trying to make an explanation and everything, but you have the one minor spelling mistake.
it's annoying.
Sir.
Sir?
Sir? Sir?
Come on out.
Listen.
Should be the kitchen cover. Well,
Sir?
we already did that. Sir? Oh, you actually can sit up, stand up. While
Yeah, but it'll just kill you.
Ooh. Punch you straight in the gut.
Fine, fuck it. Let's just watch the other two major endings, and we're done. Because God, this game can get annoying when you're trying to do something specific.
At the very least, I haven't seen, while these present, I don't think it's on the same level in terms of moon logic on stuff like the goat puzzle from Broken Sword 2.
Oh no, like it's not as bad as something that we'll see back in the early 90s or late 80s or anything like that, obviously. But it does carry some of that DNA.
In order to actually get to the right location, you need to move the quadrant of the watch in the precise situation that is actually written on the back of the manual. Except one of the actual digits is changed in-game. You need to trigger the dialogue to actually know.
Alright, so there's two more endings we're going to watch, Shiro and Dwibs. One in particular is very weird, and the other one is the canon ending, which I'm not going to explain just yet because I want you guys to see for yourselves.
What, we're the one where we find out about the sister?
It's more like an expansion onto that.
No, an expansion into that kind of, maybe, sort of. It's complicated. Just.
Yeah, okay,
How
again.
many expansion into it?
Dwebs, we're commentating on the game. We're supposed to look at it
We
and
need to look at all the endings, no matter how begrudgingly we feel about it.
That's again to mention. Well, actually, I can do in the Lex loop.
well, actually, how about this? Wait till the credits roll, because we're gonna see the credits.
Oh, you know, as one of my favorite games would like to point out, you really don't need to. You could just not, you know? Like, go do something better.
You cannot even take the advice from God and say go home and be a family man, because this is the worst option.
Look,
Alright, so here's the idea. The idea behind this ending
you deserve better.
is that we are supposed to wait till the clock hits 12. And if we manage to prevent him from
Disappointed my
killing us before we get to 12, you'll get a specific ending.
Okay then.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till we're almost done, and when he is deciding to do something, then we're going to
call.
I'm going to pick an option specifically that will
Be different.
give us even more time, because basically after he's done rambling, he's going to say, now it's time for you to make your choice, which is basically, yeah, there you go.
And you gotta make it now.
Hey, it's only by forgetting that we ever really dropped the thread of time and approached the experience of...
Basically, for those who forgot, that's the quote from the book she was reading that the father is also very knowledgeable about.
I know the idea of forgetting things sounds crazy.
Alright, we're almost at 12.
You could. I can help with that.
Basically, this is an ending that a lot of people miss because, again, it's very obtuse in how you get it.
All the pain, all the stress forgotten.
It seems to me this is more like streamer bait in a sense. It would be something that people who will, it would be the devs will encourage people who have LP or a stream of the game to experiment to see what happens.
So he'll just forget everything.
Actually, let me see. Did people important that I know cover this game on YouTube? I don't mean review, let's plays. I mean, let me see.
This is your last chance.
Alright, come on. Get to 12, please. There we go.
You do have a remarkable
There you go.
imagination.
You guys are about to see.
Stories you've
Alright, there you go.
believing them
So this is the ending that happens if you allow the clock to get to 12.
You have to let her go. You can't keep obsessing over her. Sometimes things just are what they are. It's time for you to wake up.
The heck is this ending?
I think, yeah, I remember hearing about this. I think it's supposed to imply that the whole thing has been a sort of a nightmare slash psychosis that the protagonist has had, and William Defoe's character is in reality his therapist.
But believe it or not, guys, this is not the canon ending, because we have one. Now it's time for us to do the ending, the one ending that actually reverts all your progress back to 0.
But yeah, basically, again, I guess the only other major complaints that I can have is that I kind of wish we did got an explanation of why the loop is happening in the first place. Again, it's strongly implied that this watch has some particular properties, and, maybe people in the family are able to manipulate it to some kind of way, but the game never really elaborates on that. I guess that's maybe a good plot for a sequel. I know it's the idea of potentially giving the amount of money to this kind of writer, and you may not be comfortable to do so after this kind of twist. But I don't know. I think the potential might be there. It's just that it's conflicting in terms of things that it does.
Again, things would have been. The game would still be annoying in its mechanics, but if the game just ended with us figuring out that the wife did not kill. And explain that to the cop. If the game just ended there, That would have been fine. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
But no, I guess Luis Antonio really wanted something that really would, I guess, impress people. And he came up with this twist, basically.
I mean, it left an impression on people, but I don't know if it impressed people.
Like I said, some people I don't know if it's applicable to this writer, but a lot of people, just something like shock value like this serves with a specific purpose of let it big talk, because there is no such thing as bad publicity.
So after that ending, we go back to the study room once again, where we once again can make the choice. And this time, we're going to go for the actual canon ending. So you're probably wondering, Shiroi, how do we solve this mess that we put ourselves in?
Your sister. Look.
What we have to do is we have to talk about the book.
It's only by forgetting.
Also,
You ever really
without Shiri, but the rest of us have played Singularity. There is a potential solution.
Go ahead to explain it for
I
Shiroi.
don't remember if it's what the game does. I'll wait until the credits.
Sure.
But what if
So Shiroi, now he's about to tell us something, Shiroi. What if we could just forget all of this ever happened?
Forget about it.
all the pain, all the stress, forgotten
I mean,
forever? But you need to understand.
okay, since we're back in the past, I was going to say repressing your memories further is not going to help you, but we're back in the past now.
That's a Shiroi.
Not have any of this happen.
That's exactly the thing, Shiroi. We're going to once again retcon the whole thing, but this time we're going to do it differently.
Don't have to forget.
Because remember, in Dwybs' pick of the ending was that the brother decides to, okay, fine, I will not marry my sister, I will just break up with her and move on.
I hope you find
That will be it. However, this is the actual canon ending, Shiroi. He's going to, and I'm not shitting you, hypnotize us into forgetting all of our memories of her. So that way, we never even remember she existed to begin with.
That's such a cop-out.
What I was thinking that instead Singularity does is to instead have the protagonist commit suicide, because that way, if he never existed and before that point, all the mess would have never happened. But yeah, I got the feeling this
You know what this means?
was going to do.
You know what this means, right, Shiroi?
Mm-hmm.
This entire game never actually happened. This entire game was actually, in fact, what they actually even tell us there is that everything that we just experienced with those loops, that was just the protagonist imagining or / dreaming everything, like Teo was saying earlier. So the game basically retcons itself at the end, Sonic 06 style.
It was all a dream.
Again,
So hang on a minute. How come? I wonder how many of those critics that praised this story bashed Sonic 06 for doing the whole.
Basically, so there you go, Dwybs. If it makes you feel any better, Dwybs, there is no sister, there is no child. Nothing of this ever happened because, canon-wise, things never have. This matter never actually leaves this room.
There is no incest plot twist in Ba Sing Se.
Of course. Also, one thing that we haven't really mentioned, but it's slightly important in case you hadn't noticed yet, the copy is actually both the protagonist and his wife's father.
Mm-hmm.
Which also means Bumblebee is related to the two, I guess, by proxy. Good to know.
God, this family is just fucked.
Just like average Tekken fans be like.
And like I said, this is the canon ending, since they use the whole you're forgetting everything as an excuse to reset your progress back to 0. Now the game deletes your save file, near style. So now, so if you want to play again, you have to start from 0 again. And that was 12 minutes, everybody. But don't think we're done, because as you might have noticed, Jova was not here with us. But don't worry, everybody. I have a playthrough dedicated to him in mind in the future, so look forward to that. Shiroi, your final thoughts on 12 minutes, please.
Oh boy. Okay. The gameplay idea is interesting. They do try their best to make it as not repetitive as possible, even though there are some slip-ups. So that can be...
So then Jason Griffith on the developer, thanks.
Oh, it has licensed music? I didn't even notice that.
Probably some public domain classical music or something like that. Go on, Shirai.
Yeah, but oh god, where was I? Okay, yeah, there are some slip-ups, but they do try their best to like cut a lot of the fat out in terms of repetition. How precise you need to be, though, is kind of bullshit, especially since, as we've discovered within these past few minutes, quite a lot of it is a bit vague in terms of what you actually need to do. Let's see. Acting is fine, I guess. The plot twist didn't need to be that. Like, again, you could have done literally anything else. And, it was bad enough on its own, and we've already talked at length about that, quite recently, so I won't add to it. But making the canon ending be oh, it was all a dream kind of thing, that just diminishes everything, honestly.
Would you have preferred an ending where the incest does happen?
I would have preferred an ending where instead of beating up the guy, you drag everyone to therapy and everyone has a group therapy session and deals with this shit.
I wonder if the canon ending was really the continue as it's labeled instead of mindfulness, but I'll wait until Sherry's done to mention.
Also, Pedro, that was a stupid question. Of course, the answer to that question is no.
I know, I was being sarcastic. Go on.
Don't worry. I'm not mad at you. It's fine.
No, you're mad at the game.
Yes. No, it's all a dream plots are so I mean, they can work in very specific instances, but you gotta be careful about it. I don't know what else to say. Interesting idea, very rough execution. Don't date your sister.
Yeah, I guess that's your PSA for the day.
You know what?
That's your moral. Don't date your siblings. It's bad.
You know what's interesting, Shiroi?
Yeah.
There was actually a news story in my country about two people who got married and had a kid, but they didn't know they were siblings at all. And they were only siblings because of a technicality. That had nothing to do with them. But they're still living happy to this day with their child and everything. So that's interesting. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
I'm guessing you have never, again, I mentioned this to the others for another context, Shiri, so I don't blame you, but I'm guessing you don't know because it's relatively mid-obscure level of movies, but I'm guessing, have you ever at least heard about the movie set called Decalogue by Krzysztof Kieslowski?
No.
Okay. It's based around the Ten Commandments, and one of them, which is about honor by father and by mother, is about a similar story to what Pedro said, the two people who fall in love, but then discover actually very late and deciding what to do with their lives. It's, like what you said, a more, thoughtful and, logical way to actually approach the subject.
Yeah, because, they didn't know, and also they do, even if they're, because you said that they're raising the child and whatever, that's something that's kind of a necessity. You've had a child, whether they're still dating is another matter, but raising a child together is still the appropriate thing to do, in my opinion. But the whole dating is a different thing entirely. But yeah, I think this is all I have to say about the game itself.
Give me a moment, Shiro.
Messy.
I'm not gonna link it. I'm gonna link the article to you because it's in Portuguese. I try to see if maybe someone in the UK or US talked about it, so I could give you an actual English.
I guess
article.
Google can translate it if you put it there, but I dread to think what the result may be.
Yeah.
So I'll translate instead. Basically, incest is not a crime in Spain since 1978. But the law still forbids the formal marriage between direct relatives. So basically,
Yikes on a bike.
so there's these people here who they're brothers. They dated for 9 years and they have 2 kids. Blah blah blah. And they actually here. Allow me to read this here, and I'll quote here. Anna and Daniel, that's their names. They want to make it clear that they don't want to appeal for endorsement of relationships between siblings. They just want to tell their story of 2 guys. We never said that love between 2 brothers is something natural. We simply tell you our personal story, and that's it.
Yeah, like from the way you describe the article, they're basically just explaining what happened, which is like...
Yeah, right here. Anna's dad abandoned her when she was a child to form another family. Anna knew she had a half-brother, but no... So this is literally the story of 12 minutes. Anna knew she had a half-brother, but she didn't know him. She didn't know the name or the age of the brother, so suspected that she lived in Granollers in Barcelona or something. Now, Daniel has 3 other siblings. He knew that maybe he had a lost sister, but he never cared about searching for her. And he said, maybe if I was an only son, maybe I would, but I wasn't. So they're kids of the same parent, the same father, just like in 12 minutes. Anna only met the brother when she was 20 years old. She met him through a Facebook search. First found a profile then started talking. 2 days later, they met personally. We gave a hug and we started laughing. It was a very weird situation. Our meetings became more frequent and we tried to maintain a sibling relationship, but it was difficult for us, says Daniel. It was spontaneous. It wasn't planned. They didn't have the idea of keeping a relation for because of seeing. But so basically, it's one of those things where these 2, the only reason they're siblings is because of something the dad did, and they don't see each other as siblings because, well, for all intents and purposes, they're only siblings by blood relation only, and it's something that so that's basically what they're saying. They're saying that, look, we made it work and we're happy and our kids are happy. That doesn't mean we think this should be now, brothers, siblings should start marrying left and right. That's not what we're saying. So what do you think about this in particular?
Still, like, I've mentioned this to you before about other things. It's kind of like, okay, you can't stop people from doing what they want to do. Mm-hmm. Don't have to like it though.
Oh, sure. Oh, well, yeah. To be fair, they themselves are saying we're not telling you to like it. So.
I know that, but you asked me my thoughts.
Sure. So Dwes, before you say your final thoughts, Dwes, what do you think of this Portuguese sibling story that I just told you? Right? Do you have any opinion on this particular thing? This is 2033, by the way, so this is literally last year.
I wish I'd never heard it.
Enlightenment, Dibs. Enjoy.
Well, Dibs, if it helps you, nobody got hurt from this, and they're happy, and their kids are happy and healthy. No issues.
My mind's been hurt.
Well, Dibs, look at this. Well, okay. See, okay. Well, look at this. You learn how. So I'm guessing, Dibs, I probably just made it so that you never want to visit my country ever.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. But however, in my hotel room, I never want to turn on any Portuguese TV channel.
You know what? Yeah,
I will say, as someone who has been to Lisbon, it's very nice.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Don't watch TV.
No. Okay.
Yeah,
To be fair,
I mean, hell, that's why I wish I went to that 2021 Champions League final. It was held in Porto.
How about this, Dibs?
Think about it this way: it was perfect. It was held in Porto. We won it, And the Portuguese gave us like 48 hours to bugger off after it was done, so I wouldn't have had time to watch TV there anyway.
Okay. How about this, James? We'll do it like this. If you ever come to my country, I will personally make you a Pedro approved list of TV programs that you can watch safely without coming across any of these things.
It's like the lists of anime episodes you should skip.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
Alright, for the sake of time, Waves,
Your final thoughts, those, please.
I'll mention after this.
Okay, interesting premise. I actually do appreciate the top-down perspective. The acting is solid from everybody. The story is shit. Was there really that much of a lack of content that critics chose this game as one of the better stories of 2021? Were there really no better stories?
Allow me to remind you that Neo: The World Ends With You came out in 2021. The fact that this game got best story / best whatever and Neo got shit.
No. This game was nominated specifically for the best indie.
Okay.
Which, like I said, that year I even voted Inscription. It's a much better game than that. Sure, Kina Bridge of Spirit made sense a bit for the category, but I kind of wish that Inscription won instead. But go on, Vibs.
I feel really unclean having seen that twist. like seriously, what? Okay, maybe. Okay, I don't care that a country this guy's from is used to this kind of stuff. He is not making this game just for Portugal.
Yeah,
he is releasing that game worldwide, and this is the shit he subjects us to. I mean, that'd be like if someone around here in the UK made a movie that was very morally questionable, but his excuse is like, "Oh, don't worry, this game's perfectly legit. I made it with British people in mind." And I'm like, you bastard! You released it worldwide.
Yeah.
What did you expect was going to happen?
It's the whole. It's similar to that bad analogy that George Lucas did regarding the Star Wars stuff he was making back in the 2000s. Like, it's my house. If I want to paint my house white, I'm gonna paint it white. I'm not gonna paint it green, no matter how much you ask me to. And I'm like, George, you're talking about these movies as if you're the only one who's gonna watch them. Like, and it's a similar thing here. Luigi should have thought to himself, if I'm going to sell this to an international audience, I need to actually, think beyond Portuguese culture, because Portuguese culture is quite different than US and UK culture, which is the most people you find on social media. I can tell you that this game made zero noise in my country. Zero noise.
Wow, the country where it came from, Portugal, was just like, whatever. We see this every week on TV.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
It's more likely, like I said when we commented on the Titanic Legend Goes On, a lot of times some products made in a specific country, like mine or Pedro's, tend to not be done with the country's own origin in mind, but more like the international market, which... unfortunately for this product, it kind of makes the choice of the themes even more baffling, like you just said.
The story comes off to me as if the guy who made this thought, what if I make a Portuguese soap opera script, but with famous Hollywood actors in it? And because of the pandemic, they were willing to take on any paid work they could get, so they did.
Libs, do you want to have a laugh? Go watch the behind-the-scenes featurettes of this game on YouTube.
I've actually got it loaded up, ready to watch after I'm done today.
Oh, I'll watch it with you if you don't mind, because it's so funny. Because to watch James McAvoy try to bullshit his way to try to make this shit seem like deep crap.
It's kind of like the actors of Stephanie Meyer's The Host.
Yeah, it's hilarious to try to see them try to somehow twist this into something that's cool and bold and deep and shit.
I want if I ever went to a convention and asked any of the actors, do they remember anything about the production of this game? What do you think the odds are that they say I don't remember?
I don't know.
Most likely, Dweebs. There is a lot of stuff that Mark Hamill voice acted that he doesn't remember.
Yeah.
I'll try that one day. If I ever want to get an autograph from any of the three, next chance I get, I'll ask him, do you remember anything about making the video game 12 minutes?
Remember,
And I'll see what their reaction is.
I mean, I guess for Daisy Ridley would be a new brand of criticism, I suppose.
remember when Christopher Lloyd did not even remember he was in Suburban Commando until the Frozen Today meme became a thing and people started asking him about it on conventions. He didn't even remember it.
Wow, a movie in which he starred alongside Hulk Hogan. He doesn't remember.
To be fair, I enjoyed Suburban Commando as a so bad it's funny movie. So
yeah, it's shit, but it's more fun than this.
So it's kind of like Steve Blum and Jim Cummings do. Steve Blum and Jim Cummings have played so many voice roles that it's impossible for them to remember all of them. But anything else you have to say, Dibs?
No, that's it. This game
I'm still convinced. And by the way, Shira and Dibs, see if you agree with me on this before I pass the baton to Teo. Do you agree with my theory that Luis Antonio has dirt on James McAvoy, Daisy Ridley, and Willem Dafoe, and that's why they're here?
Either that or he has connections, like, to the industry directly.
Specific third option, Daisy Ridley wanted desperately to be known for something else than Star Wars, and since Chaos Rising didn't really work out as a movie, this was probably her best bet.
All right, with that out of the way, Teo, your thoughts on...
Well, first of all, I guess the thoughts of your article. I mean, personal interpretation, which I think is the more logical one, is simple as that. It's more of a case where these two people found out the circumstances way later down the life when, potential damage had already been done, and simply put, had to live the life with it. It's not like the others have said, it's not necessary, just an endorsement, but the problem is that there's already too much of a step forward in order to backtrack this much. It would probably could have caused more damage more than anything, but at least there is a conscious effort to raise awareness as a result. Anyway, just before my final thoughts, the end... TV Tropes actually list all the major endings, which I think a couple of ones we did not get even when we even mentioned. In order, listen. At the start of a new save file, if the husband doesn't do anything upon entering the apartment, he and his wife will talk before she grabs the pocket watch and leaves the apartment with the husband, preventing the time loop altogether. This actually we didn't got it.
Yeah.
Coward. The husband cooperates with the cop, giving him the pocket watch and helping him stage the wife's suicide. The cop leaves without harming the husband, but the time loop continues. Groundhog. The husband calls Bumblebee and convinces her to talk to the cop, stopping him from entering the apartment. The husband and wife have a romantic evening in peace, but the time loop continues. Confessed. After the reveal, the husband confesses to the wife and the cop that he is her brother, and her father's murderer. The cop is given the pocket watch and he threatens the husband before leaving without any further trouble. The wife demands the husband to get out of the apartment, continuing the time loop. At this point, we didn't get to.
Allow me to mention something about that particular ending too. When she asks you to leave the apartment, the loop will not end until you do indeed leave the apartment, right? And during that moment where she's telling you get out, you can click on her infinitely, click and say babe. And keep in mind, Shira, this is right after you've confessed to her that you're her brother, and you can still go babe.
Like one of the fucking seagulls in Finding Nemo.
To this day, Shira, I still like to tease Vanessa going babe. And she always goes fucking shut up because she hates this game, but she always tells me to fucking shut up. Don't even
anyway,
start doing that, Shiro. See what she reacts like babe. Just repeat it in this specific intonation. Babe. It's literally the should be in the kitchen cupboard thing.
Like I said, it also seems to be like the seagulls in Finding Nemo. But it seems to be more of a situation of fuck it and find out. But the other three endings, alone, the husband uses the pocket watch to go back in time and agree to break up with his future wife in the time loop. He lives in the same apartment in the future, but he's all alone with no furniture or electricity. Continue. same as the previous ending, except the husband uses the passage in a book to ask the father to erase his memory of his sister and the events of the game so far, creating a stable time loop on top of the 10-minute one the husband was trapped in and erasing your save file. And the last one, mindfulness, the one we got before. Same as previous two ending, except the husband decides to stare at the clock after asking to have his memory erased. The father tells the husband to stop believing all of his stories and to let go of his obsession with his sister, suggesting that the events of the entire game, time loops and all, was just the husband imagining what may happen if he decides to break up with or continue dating his sister. Getting this ending removes the continue button from the main menu, implying that the husband has finally broken out of the time loop. So I think this is the one that is supposed to be the canon one.
That's the thing too. From what I've been able to gather from my research, it seems like the whole forget and reverts the progress back to zero thing. That's meant to, because remember, like they even have a different credits roll specifically for just that one ending.
True, but I think it's supposed to be. Remember how cryptic it is to find it? I think it's the more a video super secret ending, and as a result, that's the true one that happens. Maybe that's the thought process.
I guess, but I guess.
And honestly, again, out of all of them, seems to be the one that makes more sense because it's the one that creates the less damage out of them, technically. But to mention about the final thoughts, I've pretty much mentioned most of it I had to say. Honestly, like I said, the gameplay is technically fine. Sure, could have been elaborated because point and click love to do stuff like combining items, see different combinations. The stasis duology recently is a good example of that. But the story, up until the reveal, like Pedro also mentioned, is technically fine. It should have just be a short game about reveal about the father. Sure, again, I get the idea that Louise, was in a cul-de-sac and did not know how to find a satisfying conclusion in how to explain or break the time loop. So I had to do this bonkers, shock value kind of thing, which I guess it made people talk about it. Just there's got to be a better way. I'm sorry.
Yeah, then talking about it in a bad way in general, because most people that I've seen are either super stunned and don't know what to say, or they just leave the game in disgust because they don't like this direction.
And again, what was the thought process that Joe Keighley and his cronies, his circus tent, had for nominating this best indie of the year this came out?
Okay, to be fair, it doesn't necessarily have to be because of the plot twist. Maybe they just thought they really liked the creative premise and the unique gameplay loop that they create. So it doesn't necessarily have to be because of the plot twist.
Then again, it's the same. Then again, I'm kind of stupid actually saying this because the year before, The Last of Us Part 2 won all those fucking awards that it did not deserve.
That is true.
So that is true.
Yeah.
I'm asking stupid question myself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, to get back on point, again, ideally this should not discourage to try again with this kind of formula. Of course, we run into the problem of if this person tells a plot that feels very disgusting to a good chunk of viewers because of of the themes treated, should the same person be allowed to make another game and people actively give them money for it? I guess that is the real dilemma, because I would like to see more of this kind of gameplay, but I understand of trying not to be financially supportive, people who do these kind of choices like this one. So the best compromise would be someone being inspired by this product and doing something else, about it. I think that's the best outcome.
I get the feeling, I doubt that if Luis Antonio makes another game, I doubt it would be a game that's also a time loop. He probably will make something completely different after this. I doubt that he's going to once again do the whole time loop thing. I doubt it.
Still, so again, at the end of the day, it's a mess. I would enjoy it just for the gameplay alone, but unfortunately, the thematics and the twist really, it's one of the cases where it really drags it down. Even if you don't just ignore it. Fortunately, so there is that.
I mean, it's the last impression the game goes out on, so it's kind of hard to just let go of it, and just focus on just everything before the ending, because the game makes a good first impression, but makes a horrible last impression.
I guess minor thing to say because I forgot what we've said about the voice acting. Everyone is perfectly fine in the roles. It much like Pedro asked instead, it makes one wonder how did this random person got these people. Like I mentioned, I think I mentioned in the first part, at the beginning, William Dafoe is used to work with the European directors and people, so there is no too much of a no-brainer, but it would work with the song from Portugal, immediately like that. But the other two feels very specific, and it feels like, a very specific idea that the director wanted these very people for the role instead of just picking 3 random celebrities. So a making of this would be, very interesting for knowing about the information, like what happened with Mad and Muscle. It would be interesting, admittedly, but, maybe one day, who knows. Pedro.
And pretty much everything that Theo said, it's just trust me, see, here's the thing. The thing you have to understand, everybody, is that when I watch this kind of shit over here, I do it for the lols. Because trust me, I will tell you this, Shiro, for as bad as they are, if you're just in the mood to watch a fucking train wreck that is just spectacular,
I'm sure it's great for that.
It's like if you're just what I want to watch? I want to watch a spectacular train wreck that I can just rant and laugh at. Portuguese soap operas are really great for that. Not to say that there is no good ever in any Portuguese soap operas. There is some really good stuff in there. I can tell you there are good Portuguese soap operas. Not all of them are shock value driven. I can tell you that much. I can actually, off the top of my head, I can actually think of a good number of Portuguese operas that I really like and are really enjoyable. Again, by the standards of soap operas, obviously, if you compare them to proper TV shows and movies and stuff like that, obviously it doesn't cut the mustard. But by the low standard that soap operas are known for, they're enjoyable.
I mean, soap operas are generally kind of low standard anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of where they're from.
Mm-hmm. For example, the soap opera that from my country that won an Emmy. Over there in the US, that one didn't have any, at least that I'm aware, any kind of incest or anything of the sort, or rape or anything. It was more straightforward, if I remember correctly. Obviously, otherwise he probably wouldn't have won that Emmy. But that's the basic gist of it. I can assure you, Shiro, don't take this to mean that every Portuguese work of fiction is like this.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Alright, so that being said, one thing I would like to add to what Theo said is I have some issues with the gameplay as well. Like I've already explained, the game can be super fucking specific with these specific mini steps you have to do just to make one specific ending occur. Because that thing where I was having trouble, I should be able to talk to the cop because I called Bumblebee to do the thing, and yet for some reason the game doesn't let me, and there doesn't seem to be an apparent reason why. I'm gonna have to go back to the guide and figure out what little minor obscure thing I missed that the game just arbitrarily asks me to do, because that's the big problem with this game a lot of the times. The gameplay is not very flexible. You have to do things the exact way the game wants you to the fucking minor detail, otherwise you're gonna fail, and that can be really annoying because it's annoying because you never feel like you failed because it's your fault. You fail because you didn't do the specific thing that the game arbitrarily wants you to do, even though logically it shouldn't even be necessary. That's the basic gist of it. The game can be really annoying even on the gameplay. So if you've played it as much as I have, and I've played this game way more than I should have, and I'm going to keep playing more because we still have a Joa playthrough to go through this. Look forward to that. Should be fun. Maybe we'll get Deji in here. Who knows if we manage to get Deji in here. So yeah, that's 12 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So, but we have one to the next time, where the next time the four of us are here, I have another short game in mind, one that recently got a remaster. That should be fun. So I'll keep that a surprise for now. So see you then.
Yeah.
See ya.